What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Taste of Love. And this evening, I am once again dashing. I'm going to show you guys how much money I can make on one of my slowest days. And at first, I really wasn't going to record, but I was like, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how much I can make on one of my slowest days, which is typically Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Mondays and Tuesdays. But Tuesdays is typically the slowest day for me. So I'm going to show you guys how much I can make on one of my slowest days, which is today, which is Tuesday. I had already started and I already had like maybe 2 orders. And I already made like $14 and some change. But I'm on my way to American Deli now. And I got 2 orders. I got a stacked order for 6 miles for I think $18. So I'm gonna get to American Deli and hopefully the food is ready so that way I can get in and get out, because the quicker I can get in, the quicker I can get out, the more money I can make. So all right. All right, the food was ready. As soon as I walked in, actually it was ready. So I got 2 bags and I got 2 drinks. I got to deliver to 2 separate customers. So I got to go to 2 separate houses. So I'm going to get on my way so I can deliver these and then move on to my next order. All right, I got to tell y'all something that's crazy. So if any of y'all dash and y'all dash on the regular, and I want to know, just comment below, have any of you guys ever been in a situation where y'all had to deliver at either the neighborhood that y'all live in or a neighborhood that y'all used to live in? So I already had an instance today where I had to deliver in a neighborhood I used to live in, and now it's making me go back to the neighborhood I used to live in. So actually the last order I had to deliver was in the neighborhood I used to live in. In this order, it's making me go back to the same neighborhood I used to live in. So I just think that's kind of interesting that sometimes when you're dashing, you'll usually end up in places, unusual places, or places you used to live at, or sometimes in neighborhoods where people you may know, or simply people you may know. This happened to me before. So yeah, I think it's just kind of, interesting or whatever. So yeah, I'm gonna deliver this one order I have from American Deli, and then I have another one. So this is supposed to be a total of 6 miles, and it's paying a total of $18. So now that I've delivered that order, my next American Deli order I'm about to deliver, which is only about a quarter of a mile away, so it's not even that far. And then after that, I'm going to see what other orders I can get, and hopefully I get some higher paying orders as well. Even though this is one of my slowest days, I'm kind of expecting it to be a little bit slower, but I don't know. I'm hoping for the best, so I'm hoping I can get some good paying orders, because it looks like it might try to rain, and usually when it rains, it's usually good money for DoorDash. So I'm hoping it can rain a little bit too, because then that'll increase my chances of getting some better tips. So I'm hoping for that too. So all right, so this should be pretty simple, guys. This person is located inside the grocery store, so I don't have to go inside of not inside anybody's house, but I don't have to go to a house or an apartment. So this person is inside the grocery store, so all I have to do is simply go in and hand it to them. So it's a quick, easy in and out. So that way I can get on to the next order. All right. So as y'all can see, I got a $13 tip off of 2 orders. So someone left a $3 tip and someone else left a $10 tip. So both of those customers tipped pretty decent, especially the customer that tipped $10. That was really good. I definitely appreciate it. Looks like I have another dash, so I'll show you what I got. So $3.75 for 1.3 miles. Nope. I'm gonna decline that one. I mean, I could do it. It's not terrible, but I mean, I believe I can get a better paying order, so I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna drive around and see what else I can find. So y'all can see, I got Popeyes. I hate going to Popeyes. because a lot of Popeyes restaurants, if y'all know, are very, very slow. And not only are they very, very slow, it tends to be very, very ghetto a lot of times. No offense to anybody, but it tends to be very, very, and a lot of times the workers can be very rude, very slow. And I mean, I get it sometimes. Maybe they're not getting paid what they should be or what they think that they're worth, but still, at the same time, you know, you signed up for the job. I feel that you should be giving better customer service. But long story short, I don't like going to Popeyes because they take too long. But I went ahead and accepted it because it was $6.40 for 5.1 miles. I don't think that's terrible. And I'm in the parking lot now, and I really don't think that it's busy. There's no cars in the drive-through. It looks empty in the inside. So maybe this is my lucky day. Maybe my slowest day can turn out to be one of my busiest days this week. So this is going to be good for me. I'm hoping I can go in here, and I'm hoping that the food is ready. I'm hoping it's not a situation where I go in here and then 5 minutes later it's a crazy line and everybody start coming in here, because it is 4:30 right now. So I'm hoping to go in here, get in here, and get out, and then get on to the next order. All right. All right. So I went in there and they had it ready, and it was like really literally getting it ready once I walked in there. So I didn't have no issues with Popeyes today, and they were pretty slow, so I'm glad about that. So I'm finna get this delivered, and then I'm gonna get on to my next order. Okay, Chick-fil-A, $7.25 for 4.5 miles. I will always accept that. That's a good order. It's a good paying order. Chick-fil-A over here is pretty quick, so I'm gonna go in here, run in here. They usually have the orders ready. They don't take a long time. I'm gonna come out and get this order delivered and hop on to the next one. All right. All right, y'all, I got an order at CC Wings and Grills. As y'all can see, $10.25 for 8.9 miles. That's a good order. I will always accept that. So I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna get this order, and I'm already hungry. As y'all probably already know, if you guys have watched any videos on this channel, I mainly cook, so I love to go to these different restaurants and see the different foods, see different restaurants, and I kind of find a lot of different restaurants and hidden gems by dashing. So I do like that about doing this, but I also get very, very hungry, and this is like the third time I had to come get wings, and wings is my favorite food, so I'm already hungry. I can't wait to get home and eat, but I likely won't be having wings tonight, but maybe tomorrow night. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this food, and then I'll be on my way. All right. Y'all look, this is a big order. They got a lot of food, a bunch of drinks and a bunch of food. They must be having a feast tonight. All right, y'all, I'm now leaving the restaurant. They kind of took a while. I mean, it might have took them maybe 10 minutes to get this together by the time I walked in there. So it took a little minute, but they got it together. So now I'm on my way to deliver this order. And this order has me going in the direction where I live. I think it's dropping. This order is being dropped off maybe about 2 minutes away, or a few minutes away from where I live. So it's not even really that far. So I think after I deliver this order, I'm going to be finished, because I don't really want to like do more orders. Like, it's already getting later in the evening. As you guys can tell, it's kind of like getting a little bit darker outside. So I don't want to just... I could continue, but I'm kind of ready to go home at this point. I think I made enough for today, so I think I'm gonna stop after I deliver this order. But it's gonna take me about 18 minutes, it say, to get over there, but maybe more like 15 minutes. But I guess in the meantime, I guess I'll give you guys some pros and some cons, some tips while I'm driving. If you want to make more money with DoorDash, or I would say how to make good money with DoorDash, because it's very possible to make $100 a day with DoorDash. And I've done it before a few times, but I just don't always practice it or do it because I do have a main job that I go to. But if I wanted to, I think it's possible to achieve that. You just got to have the right tools and resources to be able to. So I just give you guys a few tips on how to make that possible. Like, how could you make more money, or how to make good money with DoorDash in one day? Well, here's a really good tip, I would say. First and foremost, learning how to accept good paying orders, or accepting higher paying orders and declining really bad orders. So you're going to have to be able to decline some orders to be able to accept higher paying orders, but at the same time making sure you can keep your rate good. So typically what I like to do is I don't like to go below 50%, because I know if you do, it can affect you getting higher paying orders. If you want to keep your rates good, your customer service rating good, try to deliver on time and everything, so that way you're able to keep your account active. And not only keeping your account active, but just you'll be able to get more higher paying orders if you have like a better status. If you're able to, you know, just keep your rate high, accept as many orders as you can without declining too many. So what I like to do is I like to be strategic about what I do. So if I get an order and it's like a very low paying, I'm gonna decline it so many times, but I know after a while I'm gonna get a higher paying order. And I like to get those high paying orders. I accept those higher paying orders, and that's usually what helps me out. And try to accept as many in 1 hour, and try to get, you know, as many delivered, and know where the good restaurants are in your area that you're dashing in, because sometimes you know what restaurants are going to take a long time, and if you know they're going to take a long time, that's going to affect how much money you can make. And sometimes you know what time of the day is their slowest. So I try to avoid that at all costs. But if I'm sitting in the parking lot and I know, hey, McDonald's is right here, they're going to give me an order, and they do, and it's slow, I'm probably not going to do it. So I like to accept as many orders that I can in 1 hour and deliver them as quickly as possible. But at the same time, I'm going to decline as many bad paying orders as possible. But be very strategic about keeping my rate really good, or keeping my rate above 50%, which is usually like my tactic. Like I don't care about having like a 90%. If you guys know, you know, if you dashing, you know, I don't care too much about that. But as long as I can keep it above 50% and I still can get my high paying orders, I do that. So that's one tip. Another tip is, I think is really important about dashing, is knowing the market that you're dashing in, like the area that you normally dash in. Understanding and knowing the area that you're in, like where the hot spots are, like what are the popular restaurants, like all of that good stuff. Like when I'm dashing in my area, I pretty much know where to go. I know where to sit at in the parking lot that's gonna get me high paying orders. Like I know all of that. So like I just kind of sit over there and I get orders. Sometimes I may have to wait a while, but if it's a really slow day, then I know then I may or may not have a good day with the high paying orders, or I may not get, you know, the orders I'm looking at. I may not get them. But I like to sit in the area where I know it's gonna get me the good paying orders. And the market, understand the market that you're dashing in. Like if it's not enough good restaurants, then you may not do well. But just understanding like the market. Like I drive in typically I drive in a really good market, so it's typically usually, I wouldn't say always busy, but I mean it's busy enough to make at least $100 a day on any given day. But it just depends on what hours you dash, which is my next kind of thing I want to talk about, because they typically say peak hours, like lunch hours, breakfast hours, but I don't usually go by that, because when I get off, the peak hours for lunch is usually over with. So when I start dashing in the afternoon, it's typically around 2 o'clock or later. And I have found out that I do much better dashing in the afternoon time or at night. Well, lately I've been doing better in the afternoon, but dashing at night, like later at night. And I know sometimes it can be a little bit, I know some people can be a little funny, you know, to each his own about, being that late, which, I mean, it is a little bit, it could be a little bit, weary about dashing that late and going to people's houses. But the real money when it comes to dashing, at least I know in the area that I am, The real money is gonna come dashing really late at night, like hours between. For me, it's like between 2 and 3 o'clock. No, between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. in the morning. I usually can make at least between $80 to $100 in those hours, and that's outside of whatever happens earlier in the day. So I try to make it to where I fluctuate my hours. Like, I don't just, do the same hours all the time, but I try to also dash at night too as well. So dashing at night in my area is pretty good. So it's just knowing your area and knowing the times that these restaurants are going to be booming. They're going to be busy. You just got to know when these customers be hungry. That's another thing too. You got to know when these customers want food. In my area that I dash in, believe it or not, it is a lot of hungry people at night. That is the reason why I love dashing at night in my area too, is because it's a lot of hungry people. I typically find myself going back to the same house over and over. Like, I've grown to learn the area and where I'm going before I even, I'll see the address. I'm like, oh yeah, I've been there before because I remember the address. But these people ordering food for their kids, chicken nuggets meals at 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night. So it's like learning the area and learning when your customers are going to be mostly hungry. And from the area that I'm in, it's usually at night. At night, people get really hungry, and it kind of starts around 10 o'clock at night. And so for me, I can't do it every day because, I have a morning job, a day job. I have to get up really early, so I can't always do that. But when I do, it's usually always good because it's a lot of hungry people in my area around that time. They don't want to get up. They don't want to go out because the restaurants can sometimes be slow. But the orders are usually higher paying orders. So I usually like to do it at night sometimes. But I've been doing fairly better, in the daytime as of recent. I've been getting better paying orders, just learning like the area, learning, where to sit at, where to get the orders at. So it's just pretty much learning your area. I think that's a really important tactic in being able to make good money with DoorDash, is learning the market you're in, learning your area, knowing the area where customers are normally going to order from. And so I have typically learned that. Like, when I first started dashing, I used to do the typical peak hours, and I was doing pretty good in 2 hours, but I wasn't making nowhere near as much money as I'm making now when I started dashing outside of those hours, because I was starting to learn that, yeah, people were hungry during the lunch hours, but people also weren't tipping as well. Like, they would tip, but I'm starting to learn now that when people get off work and they get home and they're hungry and they don't want to go back out, they're going to tip really well. So learn the markets, and knowing that some restaurants that aren't in other areas, you may get an order for a restaurant that may not be in a certain city, but I may be in one city, and the restaurant I'm in is in that city, but the person that's ordering it is in another city. I may get that order, and it may be a really high paying order because that restaurant is not in that person's city. So now they're gonna tip me, way more because they want that food. And if they don't tip nothing, it's possible that order might just sit there. So it's just also knowing where popular restaurants are. And so I know you guys might be wondering, so what about maintenance? What about gas? Like, are you really making money because you got to put gas in your car? So with that, I think that, if you're driving a car that requires a lot of maintenance and you have to do a lot to it, you do have to consider that. And you're able to write a lot of this stuff off on your taxes as well when you do it. So you are able to get some stuff back. But, and then when you dash as well, they don't tax it right away. You keep all the money now, but then when you get the return, when it's time for taxes, you do have to put it on there, but they don't even take it out right now. I don't even think they do that. I don't even know if you can have them do that right now. I think that you have to do all that during tax time. But, I can speak for me, but I know for me, when it comes to dashing, I fill up about one time per week. I do once per week. I fill up once or twice a week. I think it's important to understand that when you're dashing, you're doing it in a car that drinks a lot of gas. If you got a V6, a powerful engine, a V8, and even some V6s, you know, it's going to require more gas, and you're going to have to put more gas in there, especially if you're driving in the city and you're not driving on the highway, which is you're going to mostly be driving in the city. So you do got to consider gas. You do got to consider gas prices. So if you're out here dashing and you just only made $20 and you've been doing it for 8 hours, you haven't really made no money, because all that's probably going to have to go back in the tank. So you also got to consider that. Like for me, I know I can just speak for me. I'm in a hybrid vehicle, so I'm able to save a ton of money on gas. So I'm only really filling my car up once to twice per week. So really what I make in one day, that more than takes care of gas. So I'm winning on that part of it. But if you have a car that requires a lot of maintenance and you're constantly, because the more you dash, if you do it as a full-time job and you're having to drive your car every single day, and you might do 50,000 miles a year, then that's wear and tear, and you have to also consider that as well. So that's the thing. So it's like, what outweighs the other? Like if you can, you know, be cost effective with certain things, then it can work out for you. But you know, I feel like it's definitely doable. It's definitely doable if you do it full time and you know how to like do it right, which means that you're actually making a profit and you're not spending more money on maintenance and gas than you are on the orders in, you know, that you're getting and stuff like that. So if you make 100 in one day and you know that you can put $50 back for gas, and hey, you know, this is going to take care of me for 1 week, then, you know, you probably be good, because you still got like 6 days to go if you're going to do it 7 days a week. But yeah, so that's just a little bit of what I think about it. So yeah. All right, as y'all can see, I have made $56.65 in a little bit over 3 hours, which isn't that bad. But then again, this is one of my slowest days. So, you know, sometimes it'll be a little bit less than that, but it's not that bad at all. But I definitely could continue to go, but I'm not going to do that because I got to get home to my family. But I definitely hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the tips. Definitely check out the channel. It's mainly cooking. I normally cook, and me and my wife do grocery hauls. And so yeah, definitely check the channel out if you're into grocery hauls, cooking. I have some really good recipes. Definitely check the channel out. Definitely give this video a thumbs up, comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching this video. See you next time.